These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Mountain Goat article, quote, is floating the currency a viable option? Under what context? The context they're talking about is the floating the dinar exchange rate, and I quote, of the national currency against other foreign currencies, which means to reinstate the dinar on Forex and other currency exchanges. Right now, it is solely pegged to the US dollar, so they are not talking about floating the program rate. They know already they cannot float the currency on a program rate inside Iraq. The dinar, in a way, is indirectly floating now via speculators and money exchangers, and we see the mess it is creating in Iraq. Yes, Iraq, it is time you put on your big boy pants and finally emerge to the global economy and get out of your closed economy and repeg the dinar to other currencies in the basket. The IMF has stated many times will happen. Pimpy says there's a lot of chatter about the exchange rate. It just keeps going on and on. It's very interesting. A little nugget to tease you guys. When the Kuwait dinar changed a couple days after they came out saying they had no intention on changing the rate for a long time. 2 days later, they changed it. All right, Mark Z via PDK. Very interesting news this weekend. There's a lot happening today. I have a number of key players in big meetings at 11 a.m. We don't have any idea how long it will take. I am getting tremendous static on the RV side of things. We are hearing the reason it has not gone yet is Yellen, Powell, and company. Current administration are fighting it tooth and nail. I think this is going to be a good week. All right, Holly says we begin another week, and the news over the weekend was the final release is forthcoming, and they are highly anticipatory of this week. That is from the majority of the sources I speak to. There's another one who says sometime in July, and another says by August. So I will say this, we are event driven, and this is optimally now in the best time for this. Can things change? Absolutely, as this is based on events going on, most of which we will never hear about, that goes on behind the scenes. All right, BGG reference Pimpy posts on 6/28. This representation is mostly inaccurate. We have published the actual news sources, documentation, and hard facts surrounding the Kuwaiti event numerous times. While it is true, there were clearly some investors who made some money in this circumstance. It was nowhere near the size and scope as is normally portrayed. I tend to think this commenter is recalling the China incident event-wise, though the China event was not much of an upward value change, 8 to 9% in one day. Mark Z via PDK short news update on the RV front. There are some interesting pieces that have me scratching my head. I'm expecting great news at any time this week. Expecting big news going into the weekend. Today was kind of a stutter start. It's definitely not a nothing burger. I reached out to Redemption Center folks. They don't know timing, but know they're all on call this week. All right, and Petra says it's very clear to me that the progress has been absolutely phenomenal. If you were to put on a chart the amount of conversation that has gone from the CBI, the last 2 weeks have been off the charts, and the right people are talking, basically setting the stage, and the right people are talking. Basically, there's clear evidence that a campaign has been going on now for a little over a week, maybe longer. It's talking to the citizens about what is coming. They have carefully and clearly and strategically been letting out information. In my opinion, they are executing on a very tight plan. Lastly, Pimpy says something like 95% of the IQD supply is out of country, 5% of it is in country. I can tell you this, that the big portion of the existing IQD is in the hands of banks. A lot of people talk about having IQD. How many people actually have it? The average speculator has 250,000 IQD, so if they remove 70% of the money supply plus all the ones that have been damaged just through wear and tear, ones that were taken by ISIS, ones damaged during the flood, that means the actual amount of IQD out there is very low.